Yo, 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 yo. All right. Episode 5.
I thought it was 4.
I don't know, man.
Four
Maybe
or
it is
five,
4.
same
It is
thing.
4. It is 4. Time
yeah.
flies when you're having fun.
Oh, yeah. So we got a guest out here today, Kuba.
Yes,
Welcome.
sir.
Introduce
The neighbor,
yourself.
The neighbor.
The neighbor. The neighbor.
Kuba.
I could say neighbor.
Kuba. Nobody calls me that, man.
What do I call you?
Well,
Jacob.
Jacob.
Well, come on.
All right, fine.
Well,
Jacob.
we got
Welcome,
Jacob here,
Jacob.
yeah.
What's up, guys?
What's up? Tell us about
We
yourself. What do you do?
I sell insurance. Live the dream. And,
The American dream.
yeah, and I spent some time with you guys. Shooting the shit with the two bros. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, dude. But I guess give us a little bit of an idea how you got into it, man.
Insurance?
Insurance, I got into it, man. It was, honestly, I give it all to my sister, Joanna.
Yeah?
She did accounting for her insurance agency when I worked at TJ Maxx, dude. And I was like, all right, whatever. I'll take the job, right? I'm like 17, 18 years old, scanning paper at an insurance agency. And then I'm like, all right, maybe I'll become a police officer at 18. My brother's a cop. So I'm like, all right, let's go down that path, right? And then I got my first commission check at like 18. And I'm like, hell no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
Started learning insurance and then, go from contractors to workers' comp, all that good stuff to truck insurance and doing that since I was 20, so last 12 years. Good truck
Yeah.
insurance. Yeah, you got to keep the trucks running.
I remember when I was 18, I was sold phones. I was
Yeah.
making like $10 an hour or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Once that commission hit, though, it's different. It's different.
It's a whole different feeling. It's,
I ain't based on that commission, that's for sure.
it's the biggest addiction there is.
Now, let me tell you, I was
Listen,
top of those
money-
charts real quick.
Money can be an addiction for sure. It depends on how you get it, right? You can get it all different kind of ways. You guys get it off of commission. I make it off of sales.
I don't get it off of sales.
Yeah,
anymore.
but how do you get commission off of sales?
100%. That is 100% true. Yeah, 100%.
But people realize sales is hard, but people are scared to talk to people, right?
Well, that's the problem with the current generation, I would say, is that people are scared to talk to people.
Yeah, they're afraid of hurting somebody's feelings, and they're scared to. They're always thinking about what other people are thinking about them, right? So
Yeah.
if you
That's
stop
probably the biggest
thinking
thing is
about
that-
yeah, that's blocking a lot of people because everyone gets self-conscious and their confidence is down because they're thinking about other people and how their image is perceived to them.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
That's all bullshit. Once
Yeah.
you get rid of that, the sky's the limit. You're
Yeah.
only stopping yourself.
I feel like a lot of people also are just keyboard warriors, right? They got plenty to say online, but once you see them, face to face or in person, completely different person.
Well, that's just you were talking about one specific, like, say, thing, right? Like social media or whatever, right? But in terms of like actually doing business and whatnot, dude, it's a different story. I feel like it's much easier to do business person to person.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes
and no.
Not
Yes and no.
necessarily, right?
Yes
Not
and no.
necessarily.
Depending on what you do, you could do it over the phone.
Yeah.
The majority of my sales is over the phone.
The majority of my sales are on,
But-
eBay, but on the phone, that's basically a guaranteed sale.
But on the phone, you could also, the phone is a device to get to know people, right?
Yep.
You could make someone feel the same way as you make them feel in person. Right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need to, people,
You're talking a live voice.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking to a live voice, and people remember how you make them feel, right? So if you actually listen to them and get to know them and actually care about what they're saying, then you could build that relationship over the phone the same way you could do it in person.
That's
right?
how I build relationships with a lot of the GTR guys that I deal with, that I sell the parts to. A lot of the GTR guys, they like to talk on the phone, man, because they want to get some information straight up, like, hey, man, I'm buying this car. I want to get some more info, but I don't really know much about them. I'm just new into the game. What do you want to know, bro? Because I can
Yeah,
tell you.
yeah.
And then we get into
But
conversation
how
for a
does that-
while, and then I sell them something. Because
How do you know so much about GTRs?
Because I got into them and I've just been in them. I've been selling them. I've been dealing with I've been personally dealing with a lot of guys that are in that whole group of people that build them, sell them, do whatever upgrades to them, stuff like that. So I talk to those people a lot because they come to me sometimes for used parts.
Okay.
You
So you learn by experience, right?
That, and then I worked on it myself.
All right. Hands-on experience
Yeah,
of learning
so-
it from.
So I know what I'm looking for. What I know, if someone's looking for something specific, I'm like, I know where it is. I know what it is. What does it do, and everything else, right? So
I feel like you get like small pieces of information every time you talk to somebody too.
Yes.
Right,
yes,
which adds
yes.
up.
You pick
right?
up information from
Yeah.
from every person that you talk to, basically along
Yeah,
the
but
way.
that
right?
becomes, I mean, you have to want to learn, right? A lot of
100%.
people in today's society, dude, you'll talk to people on the phone and they're not even there.
Well,
Have
yeah.
you ever had those
They're-
conversations?
Yeah.
When
yeah.
you're talking to them, but they're mentally not there. They're listening, and it goes out the other ear, right? You
well,
could
it goes
feel
in
that
and goes
energy.
out, right? Yeah, 100%. Because
yeah.
they'll be quiet and they'll be like, oh yeah,
Or they're just like, yeah, just email it to me, and then you send an email, and it's like, you can't, I guess you can't like type out the way you're talking,
Yeah,
and like what you're trying to
100%.
say, what you're
Yeah.
trying to convey, right? You can't convey your message and your voice in an email. It's
No,
different.
you can't express
you can
your
convey
emotions on
you
it.
can convey your message. You can't convey your emotion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So because email is still a great way to sell parts. I sell
Sure.
parts via email. You sell insurance
Yeah.
via email.
Yeah.
So
Eye
do you.
contact. Yeah.
You know, so it's so it is a good method to use for basically everything. It just doesn't give you the same emotion.
Yeah. That's why like, for example, my companies, we're onboarding a couple clients this month, right? And they're just like trying to have these online calls. I'm like, I tell my manager, I'm like, man, let me just go there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let me go take a couple pictures, talk to the guy. Today I had a visit. This is the first time he's met anybody from the company, right, in person.
And how long you guys work with them?
The second week.
All
They
right.
just signed off last week, right?
Okay.
But they had a couple calls before, and sure, we have video on the calls, and it's fine. But I'm like, if I'm spending X amount of money for a company, like, I wouldn't mind seeing how things are done, having things explained a little bit better, you know? And so I went there, and it's like, all right, well, here's how our process works, and, you get to shake his hand, and actually they get to put a face to the name in person, right? Not via video. And I think just like that, it shows you're a little bit more personable, because like their old IT company, they've been putting in a ticket for 3 months with no response.
Do you know who loves being talking in person or on a phone?
Oh.
People that are older than 30.
Yeah, you don't.
I've
I'm gonna say 100% people older than 50 for sure.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, even since I was young, I would always if somebody texted me, I call them.
Yeah, but how old are you?
I'm 30 now.
Okay, you're 30 now. Have you talked to someone that's 16 to 20 right now on the phone? Have you?
No, I
have you
haven't.
tried?
I tried.
Yeah.
I mean, my girlfriend's niece. but-
And you know what happens, right?
Well, you know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you get the awkwardness.
Yeah.
You get the awkwardness and the social disconnect, basically.
Even
is
when
what
you
it is.
call them, it's where's your emotion? Get fired up. What's going on? You know.
Yeah.
But that's what's missing.
These
That's what's
kids
mi-
are
that's what's
wired
missing.
to TikTok,
Yeah,
and
but
they
it's-
care
it's-
more about that than
It's older people too, though.
oh, well,
People our
dude,
generation and whatnot
My
are somewhat
perspective
that.
is, all right, we're all Polish, right? Our parents, when we came here, everyone is, don't be on your phone, don't,
Yeah,
nie
for
graj
sure.
gry, don't be on
Yeah.
that stupid game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You're
And
wasting
then
your
look
time.
at look at now. They're addicted to
Yeah.
they're all addicted to technology because it's an addiction.
It is an
100%.
addiction.
You don't have to think about your life. Your brain just goes off, and it's a form of Netflix every single day, just scrolling through YouTube and
Yeah.
you're just brainless, right? You're
Watching
not really
podcasts.
watching podcasts like this one. you
Yeah,
know?
but I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes you get information from stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
TikTok videos,
mean-
what do you get information? You just laugh, and
I mean-
you could get
No.
info from TikTok videos,
So,
right?
so you know what's crazy? TikTok in other countries is actually like a
Educational
resource
Mhm.
that people use. A
Hey,
resource.
but some of the coolest stuff I've seen is on TikTok.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
my
some shit
girlfriend-
that I would never see ever.
Yeah.
My wife would bring it up, and I would see. It's like, dude, I've been living my life 32 years.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
still know this shit. What the hell's going on? You know?
my girlfriend just gets all the recipes from there.
Yeah.
She because I never opened them or checked them on
Mm-hmm.
my app, so she just sends them to me, and she's like, it's easier than looking through it later on.
Yeah,
So she just
yeah.
sends it to me
So
as
you
a
don't
quick
have
reference.
TikTok?
I do. I
Oh,
just
so
never
he's,
use it. I just
China's
never.
following
I
you,
never
man.
use it though.
He's on China's
Hey,
radar.
whatever, man.
I never downloaded it, man. You don't want them coming over.
They ain't coming over, bro. There's too many guns in America to do that.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
They only know how much
How
the
many
art-
guns you got? You got any guns, Jacob?
No, but I think you got like 15 right there, right?
Nobody needs to know how many there are in here, bro. All right?
Don't turn the
If I-
camera up.
This is a quiet armory, all right?
If I'm in
Just keep it
trouble,
that
I'm coming to this location. That's
That's
for
what
sure.
I always say. Everybody's like, "What are you doing in the podcast?" I drive my brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
walk in here if I have to.
There are certain procedures I went through that I set myself up for this.
Good,
So let's
good,
go, dude.
Good.
I
And
don't,
that's why America will never be overthrown, right? It's the biggest military because the
'Cause it's-
population has guns.
Because we got a militia.
Yeah.
I don't know what the look it up right now. Do you got it right in front of you? Well, how many guns are per citizen in America? Let's just call
I
it
think
citizens, right?
My guess is 2 to 1. I think.
I'm saying 5-1.
5 to 1.
I think it
you're
was
speaking
pretty-
from experience.
I'm kind of I can't say I'm for sure on it, but
No, you're 10 to 1. So
in ratio in
Hold on.
ratio.
typing's not that good.
You're doing it at an angle, bro.
It's practicing, you know. Jamie from Joe Rogan.
America. Let's go, dude. What do we got? 1.2 guns. So you're right.
Yeah,
So I was
1.2.
way off. U.S. That's estimated civilian.
400 million
400
people have
million.
guns, dude.
No, so estimated owned firearms.
Yeah.
400 million. U.S. population about 330. Firearm ownership 120 guns per 100 people.
Hey, not to be crazy politics, but Google, like, put in ChatGPT how many votes Joe Biden got. Because it said 330 million people, right?
Yeah.
Population.
But that's the population. That's
Hold
not.
on, I want to see how much he got.
In
In
2020.
2020. Something's off here. Got them old Social Security guys submitting.
Did you see those guys that are
Yeah, I
150
saw
years
that.
old collecting Social Security? Isn't that some crazy shit, huh? In 2020, got 81.2 million votes.
All right.
Donald Trump garnered around 74.2. But both numbers are not like. Look at this current election. Isn't that many people sat out? You think that many people
Well,
sat
that's
out?
that's registered voters.
Well, then who the hell
Yeah,
is-
because they don't say everyone votes, right? So that kind of makes sense. What is that?
No, not everybody votes.
what
I
do
mean,
we
you got
have?
kids.
A
Kids
third,
don't vote.
yeah, a third of people.
160, yeah,
A third.
160. No, that's half the people because we're at 330. That's what
Yeah.
160 million
Yeah,
voted.
but it
So
doesn't
half the
count.
people.
It doesn't count anybody under 18.
True.
It doesn't-
Right.
Yeah,
True,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it doesn't count the legals. So, you know.
Yeah, and that's where the 390 comes in.
Yeah. But then, if you think about it, the population is what 330 million,
Yeah.
and there's 400 million guns. So
Mhm.
take off
Yeah, 1.1.
take off about half of that population in terms of counting off kids, you know, disabled people who can't have guns, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're talking about 2.4 guns per person.
I feel pretty safe, right?
Someone that you know has a gun
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Someone in this room has a gun
Someone
for
in this
sure. 1 in 3.
So what's it called? So
That's an
yes.
expensive sport too. Guns are not cheap with the ammo.
Guns are even it depends on the gun, right? You can get a pretty cheap gun, but if you want a good amount of ammo,
Just 3D print it.
This guy.
you want us to get locked down? dude, or what,
Yeah,
dude?
relax, man. This
We're in
is
Illinois,
you-
but we
this is
can't. We can't.
Kids
There's
friendly YouTube channel, and this kid's giving them 3D printers, man.
Well,
Come
you can
on.
get ghost guns, right? That are 80%
Yeah,
complete.
yeah,
They
yeah.
finish off the rest, but
This guy, gotta watch out. Part
Yeah.
of ISIS over here, man. You gotta be careful with this guy.
I'm a U.S. citizen. I don't know what you're
Good,
talking
good,
about.
good.
I got a foot.
Pull your passport out. I don't believe it, man.
It's in Paul's truck still. So.
is it? Oh yeah. See, I was wondering where the hell I left the passport and still in a truck. We had to do an out of the country visit last week.
Yeah, quick trip.
Fleeing the country. Huh?
Quick trip to
And came back.
Canada.
That's
Yeah.
podcast 4.
You can't-
You guys
you
had a
can't-
Canada
You
trip
can't
last
flee
week.
the country and then come back. What the hell kind of fleeing is that?
You had a podcast in
Maybe they're
Canada.
like, I'm gonna fleece the country and come back.
Just like Ukraine, huh?
We had,
We
to
just
we had to come back for the podcast.
We fleeced the
Good.
Canadians and they came back.
That's the 51st state, man.
Hey, that's what we were saying all weekend.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Hey, a
some
lot of people are down.
Not everybody.
Not everybody.
Can you imagine being in a country trying to get bought out by America?
Greenland.
Would you be happy or no?
Dude, I mean, the situation is just so like fluid. I don't know if I'd be happy or not.
I feel like
Realistically,
it depends.
It depends on what side of the political spectrum you're on.
Well, it probably also depends on where you are. Like, if you're like super poor or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you'd probably want it because you think there'd be more opportunity then.
Yeah, but I heard their medical system's a lot better than ours, right?
Yeah,
That's
they
'cause
also
of
pay
socialist-
for it.
Yeah, it's a socialist system, right? Basically, everybody has medical coverage for whatever, but You could be standing
check
in-
what are the taxes in Canada?
the problem with their system is that sure everybody's covered, but it can take up to a couple months for you to get that procedure
yeah,
done. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Here you can go and get a procedure
right
done in
away.
the same month.
And then you're getting $1 million
Yeah, bill. Yeah. I mean,
hospital bill.
let's see, federal income tax of 25, 15% to
Oh, you're way over 33.
15%. Yeah, well, I wish. You were talking to the wrong person, I think.
Yeah, but that doesn't- that does-
After all your write-offs, we got
That doesn't include provincial taxes.
scroll up. After all his write-ups, he's at 10%. He's under 57 grand. On paper,
Oh
this
shit!
guy's
I never
poor.
changed it back to the camera for us. Damn.
Damn, nice. Well, I gotta change it back. Come on, Jamie.
Yeah.
Our previous
You know
guy
what?
was
I'm
calling
gonna
you
I'm
out.
gonna start messing up on purpose.
One too many Stellas.
This is my first one.
But I don't know how I'd feel about it. I mean, I know we talked to a couple people.
You got
Some
some
people.
relatives in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we talked to a couple of relatives. They'd be cool with it, but they're same
Not all of them.
spectrum as us. Like who wouldn't? Which relative?
Sylvia.
And why
Yeah,
isn't
true.
she? Why
It's
isn't she? Other side of the spectrum?
Yeah.
She's got blue hair.
She's a straight up person.
Yeah.
She just got taught in the university.
You know what the saddest thing to see is, like, man, it's crazy. We went to Tulum a couple of years back, and there was people from Canada, and this lady, I mean, you could tell it, she's a Karen, right? You can't even have a conversation with her.
They don't want to talk
Trump's
to
the
you.
devil,
Yeah.
Hitler, and it's like, what are you? You know what the news, what people are watching just by how they respond to you,
Yes.
Yep.
and they can't control their emotions. Where if you sit down with any regular person, right, it doesn't matter, right, middle, right,
Well, we sat down with a person like that this weekend when we were in Canada.
and how
most
she
of-
react.
It was a he. It was an older guy. He was probably 65 plus.
Mm-hmm.
He was not a big fan of like Donald Trump and whatnot, right?
Some things he was, some things he wasn't.
Policy-wise.
That's how it should be. You
Yeah.
should be down the middle. There's no
Listen, I'm
perfect
not all.
president. Yeah.
I'm not all. I'm all right now. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I got some ideas that on the left will make more sense, right?
Yeah,
So you should be. You got to be open. You got to keep an open mind to both sides.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
you got to be down the middle.
But he wasn't too happy with what Trump was proposing in terms of tariffs. But then he was like 100% immigration.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, and there was an older guy. He was a real like Canadian. Like he
Yeah,
wasn't an immigrant.
Yeah.
He was a Canadian, and he was straight up like, "You guys are gonna get fucked."
He's like,
Because
you guys,
those
yeah,
tariffs-
he's like, you guys will see what's gonna happen. You know?
Yeah, which from one point of view, yes, that's true. It could happen that way, but from another point of view, it's like
I don't think so. What do we import from Canada? Maple
lot of
syrup.
stuff.
A lot of stuff.
Look it up.
Aluminum.
we bought a lot of maple syrup on the way back. So we're
aluminum,
good.
apparently.
you're good.
Well, aluminum, oil,
Because
crude oil.
What Canada takes a lot more from the U.S. than we take from Canada, I believe.
Or were we talking about like import export, like in terms
What's
of
the
that?
difference?
Wood. We're taking a lot of wood from them.
We took a lot of wood. We take a lot of crude oil.
We got the wood here.
I mean, we did get the wood here. The question is, why don't we cut it down?
Parks.
Well, that's one thing.
You got to preserve the parks.
Primary imports from Canada. Energy and minerals. I mean, crude oil is number one for sure.
Yeah, but aren't we the biggest? Don't we have the most crude oil in the U.S.?
We do.
We just don't.
But we
don't,
haven't tapped it.
Yeah, we haven't tapped.
Yeah,
That's
we
why
haven't
you gotta
tapped it.
watch Landman on Paramount Plus. Good
You
show.
like it?
That's a plug. Yeah.
Yeah.
Starts
Uranium.
slow, but it's good.
Vehicles and automotive parts. Canada exports parts, trucks, and auto parts primarily to the U.S. Machinery and equipment. Metals and minerals. Aluminum, copper, gold, and iron ore. Aluminum's a big one for sure.
Yeah, aluminum's a big one.
Yeah, beef and pork. Seafood. Okay. Wheat and other grains.
That's all.
Wood and paper products. Softwood.
I mean, all shit we can make here, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
If we have enough materials, I mean, maybe we use more aluminum than we have.
Well, maybe that's not. Maybe it's not the fact that you use the materials. Is maybe it's the fact that some of this to extract them, like the minerals and
It's cheaper over there.
so they already have the
Infrastructure.
in place,
infrastructures for it, right? We don't. Like we would have to open up new mines and shit,
Yeah,
which we
yeah.
can do.
Yeah.
But how much time does that take?
Yeah.
You know, how much time does that take?
Save
and how
that for a
much-
last resort.
Okay, but here's another question.
Well, that's what it is.
Let's bring it back to the topic of people bringing their products back to the U.S. and U.S. made. If an iPhone here costs what, $1,500?
$1,200, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If it was U.S. made for $2,500, would you buy it? Better quality, you know, it's made here instead of China. Would you buy that product?
Probably.
Right?
If it was an American product
Yeah.
compared to a Chinese product, yeah, I'll buy American. I mean, I know it's gonna
Yeah.
cost more.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna cost more, but listen, I'm at the point where I'm looking at the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want America to succeed. I want America to prosper. I want America to take that money and actually reinvest it back into America, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because technically, if you're bringing it in from China, yes, it's cheaper, right? they have their tariffs on us, we have tariffs on them, whatnot. That's the whole thing. Basically, you buy an iPhone here from China, you're promoting slave labor in China.
Yeah. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah,
Just for
I mean, because
profits
who
of
else?
Apple,
Who
right?
else is gonna? Do you think it costs them that much to make an iPhone? What we pay
For
for
sure
right now?
not.
No way.
For sure not. It's
Check
prob-
what the margins are on an iPhone. I'm curious because and there's no way that thing costs $1,200. The chip,
Hell no.
the chip alone might cost what, a couple $100?
The materials are going to cost for sure. I mean, obviously, but it's like it's the end of the day. It's still what the labor costs to assemble, right?
Yeah, but don't the machines put it together?
I mean,
think
they
it's
do, they
people.
don't, right?
Yeah,
As of 24, iPhone 16 Pro Max,
60%.
60%.
Mm-hmm.
So it
So
costs
Apple makes
$500
it costs $500 to make.
And
60%
Apple,
profit.
and Apple makes $600 off of it.
Gross margin 53.
60%, sorry. So the production
And people are lining up to get these things.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
and what do they make? I mean, I know you're an Android guy, right?
No, I'm an iPhone guy.
All right.
Well, me and Paul are. Well, Paul just switched.
I just switched, but I don't know if I made a mistake.
No,
The-
you
so
did the best thing
the-
you ever did.
So I love iPhones because of the simplicity and it's like it
Smooth.
it lasts a long time. Yeah. But fuck Macs.
I mean, it makes it a lot easier
Listen.
when you have everything set up and you have the proper system on a Mac to run with an iPhone. It's just so much fucking easier.
You know what I'd
you
buy a
could
Mac
AirDrop,
for?
you could do everything.
I'd buy a Mac to put Windows on it.
I've done that before. It's not good.
Yeah, I know.
It's not good. Windows
here's
is
the
good,
thing,
but
though.
they don't have a power product. They need a product that's
Well,
simple,
build your
that's
own.
sleek, that does.
That's
Build
the
your own.
problem with Apple currently is that they don't. Well, are you talking about Apple?
No, he's
No,
talking
I'm
about
talking
Microsoft.
about
Oh, Microsoft.
the simple fact and how smooth that system is. You know,
Yeah, it is.
when you power it up to when you're typing on it, when it just feels like a good product,
Yeah, but
a good
It does,
machine.
it does. I agree
When
with
you
that.
pull up a
Android.
Windows, Android, a laptop, you could just feel it's clumsy. It's
lag.
lagging.
Yeah.
It takes a shit.
I feel like it depends though, because like my computer's 8 years old, boots up in 10 seconds, if that.
Laptop or
Desktop.
Desktop.
Yeah.
See, but that's two different things.
Yeah,
you
my
know?
computer though at work is probably 3 years old now, still boots up no problem. But then again, I literally work in the field. I don't install anything on it or a bunch of like sure my work apps
Mhm.
and stuff like that. But it's also people just downloading random stuff. That's the one thing I'll give Apple is that Apple is that you have to be approved by Apple for an app to install.
Mm-hmm. Hard to install.
Microsoft-
outside. Yeah,
Yeah,
Microsoft.
you can't.
You'll have a virus in 2 weeks.
But it now warns you. It warns you. It'll like when I tried the OBS for what I used to record.
Mm-hmm.
I downloaded a plugin, and it was like you have to go through like 3 different prompts just to keep it before you install.
gives
it.
you a warning at least now, right?
And which is new. But
I mean, I feel like their interface is getting better, right? They're trying to do simplicity like Apple does, but I don't know. I'm an Apple guy all the way. It just sucks. Like work-wise, if you can't have an application that works on Apple,
yeah,
you have to. Like I sold my MacBook.
Yeah, makes sense.
I just bought the MacBook, and then we switched new CRM at work. I couldn't get it to work on Apple, so you got to sell it. And then what do you get? You know, you get a Microsoft that's I don't know, same price, but it doesn't have that kick, and it's not. You're paying 2 Gs for something, and it's like, man, it's not even worth 2 Gs.
I mean, yeah.
I wish you can build your own laptop. You can.
can.
No,
You can.
no,
Make it
you can't.
happen,
You
bro.
can't build it. So actually, about maybe
Like it's like build it like hands-on builder.
Hands-
like I
on
build my
from
PCs.
scratch?
Like
Yeah.
I build my
Yeah,
PCs, right? They had, I think it was Alienware. 10 years ago, they came out with a computer, a laptop that was modular.
Yes, I remember that.
It was like white.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm,
they
mhm.
had a modular one, so you can upgrade
Mm-hmm.
your video card, your RAM, all that stuff. RAM you can upgrade on most computer laptops, anyways. Video card you can't because it's just not
Accessible.
If it's thin,
Mm-hmm.
you just can't put one in,
Yeah, that's
right? So and any newer generation, you've seen these new graphics, they're massive.
Yeah.
The new
desktop
the new
ones, for
4080 is literally this size, this thickness. Look
Yeah.
at, I mean, if you've seen yours is a 1080, and that's probably close to 10 years old, and it's still huge.
Damn, it can't be that old, bro.
It is.
Come on, he upgrades everything. Look at the machine.
No, if you look at his computer that's mining right now is sick because I built it last
you gotta
year.
Be careful, man. You gotta be careful about that. How's
Does
that
the
going?
job, dude. It does
How's that going?
the
Here we
mining?
go.
Yeah, it's going.
Bitcoin power. It's going.
Never got into crypto because it's the same thing as growing a tree, right? When's the best time? 20 years ago and today.
Yeah, but you can't
And
look at it
I
that way.
never,
You can't look at it that way.
Never.
Because it's like saying like
That's
let's say
that's like the same thing with the stock market.
All right,
100%.
so exactly. So what is the best thing? Just buy and hold forever.
buy and hold until you're ready to cash out, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, how else are you gonna do it? You can be a trader every day, but you're gonna be on it every day.
Oh, I know. I've done it.
Yeah, is
And
it
the
worth
market
it?
never closes.
Hell no, it doesn't.
Exactly,
work
it's not
bro.
worth it because listen,
it's
for
Las
some
Vegas
people,
on your phone.
for some people, it's worth it if they have the right equipment, if they have the right know-how,
Mm-hmm.
right? They know how to play the game. You can make a quick trade within fucking 5
Yep.
seconds or whatever.
You
You'll
need to
make
have
money.
the discipline to do it
But
because
but
then
also-
the greed kicks in. You're up 10%, 20%.
Yeah.
I've been
But that's
up
not with everything.
1,000%. You know,
Bro, you telling me?
and the shit goes down 2,000%.
I don't want to. I don't.
And then you say,
I don't
"Damn,
even.
I
I don't
should
even
have
want
done
to.
this.
I don't even
should
want
have
to.
done
I don't
this."
even
Life's
want to
full of
say,
mental-
bro.
It's a mental battle, just like
Life's
anything
full of
is,
shit
man.
ups, though. You know.
Yeah.
Listen.
So-
Yeah.
I've been in the market for a long ass time in terms of crypto, and I learned my mistakes already. I learned from my mistakes. Where I know
What
where.
you learn? What's your biggest mistake that you learned from?
Well, let's say I went from 500K to 50K.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Okay.
that was a mistake already.
So what would you do different?
Not panic.
Keep adding? Keep buying?
Nope. Just
what
not
would you do?
panic. Not panic when
You
the
panic?
when
You had a
there's-
heart attack?
No, fluctuations, bro. When you're fresh into a market, and it could be, especially crypto market,
Mm-hmm.
there's big ups and downs. Like big.
Yeah,
I'm talking
yeah,
like,
yeah.
couple grand a day,
Mhm.
up or down, right? Well, when you have a couple of weeks of just going up, and up, right?
And then you hit the boom?
And then you hit the boom, and then you start getting the dips.
Mm-hmm.
The dips start scaring you.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta pull profit. So I'm gonna pull some profit, but then it resumes up. So you buy back in, but already at a higher price than what you paid for it, than you sold it for.
Okay, so what did you learn from that?
Hold. That's what I learned.
Buy dips.
Buy the
Hold.
dips is one thing if you have the capital to buy it with.
Uh-huh.
If you don't have the capital, you can't buy shit, right?
Mhm.
But don't get panicked out. Don't get scared right off of the first couple of dips that you see.
What's
Just
your
ride it out.
what's your ultimate goal though? You're holding for the future, right? What are you seeing Bitcoin? $1 million?
For
What are you
sure.
seeing? For sure. Right?
For sure. It's
So
coming
you're
in.
I think it's
talking-
gonna go so far up because it's limited.
Well, there's a cap.
Well, so right now we're at what 96,000 on it. I think last time
98
I checked.
today.
So we're talking 10x your money. Just hold it and set it and forget it.
How
Follow as
long?
well?
Who knows? How many dips in between?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, it can get bad.
Yeah.
There could be a slaughter from fucking 100K to 50K within 2 days, a day. It could happen.
Yeah, but like you said, don't panic.
Don't panic.
Add more.
Don't panic and add along the way because at the end of the day, it's not going away. It's not going away. There's already too many people that are already in it.
Yeah, it's too big. It's too big to fail, right?
It is too big to fail. At least in my view, in terms of Bitcoin, because there's a bunch of other coins you can buy, a bunch of other
Oh, like
shit
the
you can
Trump
buy.
coin? You don't get that.
I got some of that. I had to
he
buy
bought
some
it
of
at
that.
70. It's at
Nah,
17.
see,
now.
I bought it much earlier than that.
Not
so.
financial advice.
No, definitely not financial advice. None of this is financial advice. So
none of this.
don't
We're a bunch of degenerates. Man. Don't listen to us.
don't buy the damn pump coins. Don't buy the meme coins. They're terrible, bro. That's a loss on your investment for sure.
The Hawk 12 coin.
Hawk Tua was good around for one day.
But dude, that's the shit that wrecks people, right?
Well, that's the
Because-
shit that wrecks the markets.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't wreck the markets. It wrecks the everyday person.
Yeah.
When you're sitting there and you look up, all right,
100%.
you go on Twitter and you see somebody making a kid that's 8 years old making 30 grand, and before you even wake up,
Yeah.
and then you're like, shit, I'm going to work to make a couple $100,
Yep.
and you're like, dude, my mind is fried, right?
Yeah.
Your
Yep.
emotions are like, dude, is this
Well,
what
it's-
life's about? People
well,
are
it's-
making money and you're
It's
not doing
easy
shit.
it's easy to fool people.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, none
really
of the
is.
shit on the internet is real. That's the problem.
That's like Instagram, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have nothing against Instagram, and I use it for my business, but Instagram is just a bunch of fake people just
well, you
making it
see
look right.
somebody's best day in one picture.
Yeah, you don't
in
see the
one
rest of the
video.
days.
You
Yeah,
don't see the rest
yeah,
of the days.
100%,
Show me
dude.
what's going on behind the scenes.
But I mean, that's one thing, and then the other thing about that even is people set up the pictures to look so good.
Yeah.
Make it look like
Edit the
I'm
shit
living
out
a
of it.
fucking dream.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got everything I need.
Uh-huh.
And then I go home and go cry in the bathroom. You know what I mean? Dude, like, come on, dude. Like, you know.
And then you
that's why I
got
don't believe
the
any of that shit.
people pushing that, they're renting out Lambos. You got people flexing, but
That's-
they haven't built shit, right?
Yeah.
So
They're paying $600 to rent that Lambo and that watch.
But they're making $600 off you for buying that course,
Right.
And they're feeding off people, right? If someone hasn't built anything and then you're buying shit from them,
Yep.
you're the silly one there. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
But do you blame these people?
No.
No.
No. I
It's
mean,
like
it's easy, dude.
politicians, man.
It's
you know,
easy.
you can't blame politicians for taking money if they're getting $1 million to do nothing. Look the other way. You can't blame people for that. It's
I
their
agree,
own
100%,
greed.
100%.
You know?
I mean, greed is greed, man.
But
Greed
you,
got
but you
me.
can't blame somebody. You can blame somebody for being greedy.
I don't think so. Because you've never looked put yourself in their shoes.
Sure.
I've met some politicians from Oklahoma that they told me how the system runs, right? They get a $3 million contract, right? I pay you $1 million, I take $1 million, and we use $1 million for the project.
Yeah.
So how do you blame them? Dude, the guy's setting his family up for the rest of his
Sure,
life.
sure.
You wouldn't do that? To
Yeah,
look
you
the
probably
other
would
way?
do that.
Most
and
people
think
would.
about it.
I
Over
don't-
time, this is the reason why we're in this situation, right?
Yeah.
Because over time, people are adding the million, gets to billion, gets to trillion, right? Everyone's eating except me and you. We got to pay the taxes that's going in their pocket.
Which makes me
right?
just angry, bro.
Yeah. Dude, it should make you angry.
It makes
should
me
make
angry.
people
I'm-
Should make a lot more people angry.
It should. And then
I was
people
talking
are...
to, I was talking to our previous guy that was here earlier, but he left early. He didn't want to stick around, but
He's
will
got
next
a
time.
bedtime at 9 o'clock. He's probably sleeping already.
But we were talking about that earlier, where where exactly that. It's like, dude, it's like you gotta stop it at some point or another. But it's
It's gonna hurt.
Dude, think about
it's
it.
gonna hurt.
We pay taxes at the gas pump. We pay taxes when you buy things, when you sell things. When you die, you pay taxes. If your shit's not in a trust, you're not.
You're not. You're paying.
You're paying taxes.
You're not paying
Yeah,
because you're dead.
yeah. Your
But the
family
person
gets
taking
half
over-
the shit.
Yeah.
Think about the guy who has got 2 kids, saved $1 million, dies. The kids are gonna get, oh yeah, dad left us $1 million, dude. 50% tax right off that. You got $250 each. You know.
That's like I just finished Yellowstone this week,
Love that show.
and it was like did you watch?
How
Did
do
you
we
ever watch
save that?
Yellowstone?
Don't ruin it for me. No.
Yeah.
How do
darn
we
it.
save the ranch? Is the question that's been asked since
Right.
the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and it comes down at the end. What does it come down to?
I already knew that was gonna
Taxes?
happen.
Taxes, dude.
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah.
that's literally
Oh.
at the end. That's what it comes down to.
The whole system needs to be. I mean, I don't think we should be paying taxes at all. All the shit that's going on, subsidize it
Listen.
with tariffs.
That's part of Canada's problem.
Yeah.
The $200 billion is subsidized to Canada,
Mhm.
so we do business together. So Trump's like, why are we paying Canada $200 billion
Mm-hmm.
and losing out on it? Why
Yep.
can't they just be doing their own thing? I'm like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like he's 100% right on that. I mean, listen, the trade deals that were made a long time ago were made for a purpose. America was rich. America was able to provide basically for everybody who wanted it,
Mhm.
right? Today it's a little bit different. We pay some of the highest taxes. The cost of living is one of the highest.
Yeah, we're slaves. That's
We're
what it
slaves to
comes
the
down
system for
Yeah,
sure. I mean, that's
yeah.
for that's for sure.
But we were born into the system, right? Our parents came here from Poland, and they do know better. We don't know better. We've never seen a world with no taxes,
yeah,
right? So
Yeah.
you don't even know how that looks, right? Imagine not paying 20, 30% or taxes every time you go out to eat or
Well, listen,
anything.
they paid basically one tax, which is the VAT tax, which was added to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, excuse me, it was probably like 25%, 30% on all goods,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you pay that one time.
Yeah.
That's it. So you know exactly how much you're gonna be paying for your
Yep.
food, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, the fluctuation of increases in the food prices or whatever happens, right? So it could change, right?
Yeah.
But you kind of have it down
Okay,
to where,
but bro, food,
we
price,
pay- but that-
food prices go up,
yeah,
and you have no taxes. You could afford that shit.
that's what I'm
right?
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
that's what I'm trying to get to.
But
is
that would make people, in my opinion, that would make people make shit here, bring the cost
Yeah.
down, right?
yeah.
Or
What-
make your own shit.
What I think that would also do is it would like if you had one simple big tax on everything, like just a general tax, a flat tax basically on everything, is that it will also be much more accountable. You would have one
Yeah,
tax
yeah.
going in,
You know what you're
and then
paying
from
for.
well, not even that.
Well,
You get the The tax goes into the government, and then you can watch the government and see where it sends it.
Okay, but that's the big part. Where's our money going?
Exactly.
You're sending thousands of dollars to the government, but you don't know where it's going.
Nope.
Well, that's accountability is a big thing. We need a full reset, dude.
Full reset.
Full reset.
Because
full reset.
I think 99% of the people in the U.S. would pay a tax if they knew where it was going.
100%.
And if the streets are good, if people are safe, if their kids have good playgrounds, schools,
Good
everything.
schools, yeah,
Dude,
everything, yeah. 100%.
If everyone is safe and we look like Dubai, I'll pay a 10% tax. Nobody would question it. No one even would question it.
No one would question it.
But here, dude, we're in Crook County. You're paying,
Not here.
Yeah, we're out of Crook County, so
your taxes are still
100%. We're surrounded by Crook County.
Yeah. So if you think about it, why am I paying, let's say, 10 G's in taxes, but a guy in Arizona or Tennessee is paying 2 G's or G?
Well,
why?
The counterpoint to that is everybody else is gonna. If you talk to people from there, well, my waters are more expensive. Oh, my home insurance is more expensive.
I don't give a shit, bro.
Everything else is more expensive. From one point of view, it makes sense.
Your cost of living is still down.
If your cost of living overall is down, then yes, then it makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because let's say in Florida, your property taxes are much cheaper than they are in Illinois, right?
Yeah, and you have no income tax.
Which is a big plus,
Mm-hmm.
right? But their homeowners insurance for like coverage and whatnot is sky high. It's like 4 or 5 times.
That's because of it's a disaster. Right?
I don't think so. I got a guy who lives in Tampa, and his homeowners, he's got a beautiful house. His homeowners are $4,000.
That's
what is it? Yours here is 2 G's.
$1,200.
Okay, so no income tax. You're still
Yeah,
saving
yeah,
on top of
yeah,
that.
100%.
You know what I mean? So you could bitch about that all
I
you
agree.
want.
I'm not bitching.
But
What I'm saying is, it makes sense.
You're spending money for a product that if something happens, you're going to get paid.
100%.
Here,
I'm not.
we're dishing it out to the to the county for nothing.
Yeah,
we don't even know.
No, I don't. I'm not saying anything against that. I'm for that because you're gonna have to make up the cost somewhere, somewhat, right? Yeah. But if you have no income tax, then there's a big saving right there.
Mm-hmm.
At least state income tax. So you still have income tax.
What's income tax in Illinois? 5%.
I want to say it's 6.
I think it's 5.
What is the state income tax in Illinois? Income tax. Let's see. Let's find out. 50%.
Fleeced. Like
a flat individual 4.95, so 5%.
5%.
Yeah. For corporations, state imposes a 7% income tax. Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. So if you're in Florida, you can write off that 5% going back right into your pocket, right?
5%.
And I don't know how they stand corporation-wise. If they
5% increase just to move. Why do we stay here?
You mean decrease?
Yeah.
Decrease.
Yeah, decrease in
going to Florida.
Yeah. 5% increase in your money.
Oh yeah.
To yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah. So why, right? Why
the
not?
hardest part is our family coming here, and the hardest thing is to move, right?
Well,
you need to find the courage.
Everything was
move.
built here, so
yeah.
It's like
you build a business. How are you going to leave, right?
Well, it depends on the business, right?
Yeah.
Speaking
about business, if you had to do it again, would you go into the same business or would you do something else?
In terms of my business,
Uh-huh.
I would do the same business, but I would lay it out differently. And I would definitely not do it here. Because I would, from what I learned from my experiences here in Illinois, Illinois is not a very business-friendly state for the kind of business I do.
Okay.
But
what state would you go to?
Honestly, I don't have a preferred state where I would go to. I would go somewhere where it would make, personally for me, it would make more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Florida, Texas, no income tax.
Because you ship out a lot of the parts.
I basically ship everything, so it doesn't matter to me.
You just said that you would lay it out differently. Explain that.
Well, it would be, I don't know if I would buy a building to own.
Okay.
That's a lot of overhead.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been a better idea just to basically lease or rent. Right off the bat. I don't know if I consider that a mistake. Yes, you can build, it all depends on the situation. You can build equity in a building if you buy it, right?
Yeah.
You can, if the finances make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But if your tax bill is $80,000 a year,
no chance.
Then there's no chance.
And by leasing, you don't have that tax bill.
Well, you have a tax bill, but it's just not as much as it would, as it's split, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also usually it's more accounted. It depends on who lays it out how, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with the ownership, you then also have maintenance. Then you also have, then you also have extra insurance you have to cover and everything else, right? Most of that stuff's already included in the lease if you were signing the lease.
So building wise, you would do it differently.
Yes,
What
for
about
sure.
what about business wise?
Business size, I would also probably do it differently. I thought about it in multiple angles, but I don't really have I don't have a plan like right in front of me right now that I come up with that would make sense.
Would you do the same business or no?
I would do the same business. I would.
How'd you get into it? You like cars, I'm guessing. So you dismantling and selling, or
So
or how-
I started off by being a mechanic. I was a mechanic for about 5 years, right?
okay.
I worked on cars. I fixed
makes
cars. Yeah. Then actually, the guy that was here earlier, Mike, his brother, wanted to buy a car on the auction to fix.
Mhm.
So we bought him a car, a G35.
Mhm.
You had one of those.
It's a beauty.
And,
It's older than mine.
Not
and
anymore.
it was wrecked. So he's like, I'm like, maybe we just buy another one on the auction and just, swap the parts. So that's what we did. So eventually we did that. We got his car together, and then I had a couple of pieces left over from that car. It was a bunch of scrap and shit like that. But I'm like, dude, I'm gonna just scrap it, or just maybe I'll just try to sell it. So I sold some of the pieces, made a little bit of money off them, and then basically as profit. And then I'm like, there's money in it. It just it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work.
How long does it take you to dismantle a car?
I mean, I have my guy who can just strip a whole car in a whole day. 8 hours. Everything.
No,
Depends on the
shit.
car. Depends on the car. If it's some shitty car, like I don't consider it a shitty car, but if it was like in one day, he could probably knock out an S2000 in one day because it's a small car.
And you're JDM guy, right? You do.
Yeah, Japanese importers basically. S2000s, EVOs, GTRs.
You ever gonna upscale that?
So we
Lamborghinis?
we went into GTRs obviously, and then I have a couple of customers that I deal with who are already looking for Lambo parts. So
Okay.
that's probably maybe the next step. But I'm kind of locked in right now where I'm at because I can't move to a new location yet,
Mhm.
so I don't have the space. And then moving into inventory like of that sort requires a lot of capital up front.
Yeah.
And probably
Yeah.
more manpower.
Not a manpower. Manpower I'm good on. Capital up front is what the biggest problem is because you have to have the money up front.
Getting
You
the
gotta hold.
Lambo. Where are you buying these things? Copart.
Auctions, right?
Yeah,
High,
Yeah.
Copart from. I even from personal customers. I bought plenty of cars from. I bought like fucking 6 or 7 GTRs just off of directly from customers
Okay.
who toyed with it, played
They're
with it,
wrecked?
worked on it, they wrecked it or they blew it up or some
All
shit.
right, all
You know, so I bought those plenty of times. I bought a lot of cars like that. Manpower is not the problem. Storage is a problem.
And it costs the store.
Why would he cost the store if he bought the building?
It's the
right?
fact that you gotta when you buy a car up front, that car's those parts are gonna,
Are gonna
sit for.
sit.
That's the problem.
When
Yeah,
it gets
yeah.
stale, right? It's
Yeah.
the bad.
It's not that
It's
it's
eggs.
gonna-
not that it gets stale. It's just that you have to have the right customer for the right part, right?
Yeah.
Not a lot of there's a lot of Lambos out there,
Mhm.
but there ain't as many Lambos out there as GTRs. There's not as many GTRs as there are S2000s or Evos.
Yeah, so you want more customers, more eyes on
So you
it,
have,
right?
yeah, exactly. So you have to do that. So I'm kind of the biggest problem is the upfront capital, that you would have to front to buy the cars
Mm-hmm.
Then hold the parts.
because you're gonna sit on those parts for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll profit off of them over time. You can you can sit on those parts for a short amount of time, but you have to sell for cheap. Are you gonna do minimum gains
How
for
do you
quick?
how do you market yourself?
I mean, we're
are
on
you just
eBay, Facebook.
I'm talking about how do you price yourself versus the
I look at the competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll scout what they're selling the part for.
We
You
scout
undercut it or
that's how we all do it.
no shit.
Yeah, and then we also, there's certain parts that competitors don't have, so you can upcharge for those
Upcharge.
parts, right? You can, but those prices are hard to determine.
Mhm.
We're talking the stuff that's not out there for sale,
Mhm.
like a specific harness for an S2000 or GTR or whatever. The dealer wants $1,800 for a harness. There's none for sale.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you price it at?
And it's used.
1750.
Yeah, but it's used, right?
But it's used, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, a harness is a harness, right? But a harness can still get used, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you price it
and
at?
$500 is better than that thing sitting there for years. And
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. So you have to kind of play the market. You have
But
to play the game.
that's playing the market every single day.
Every
That's
day.
it. Yeah, that's
Every
every
day.
day. So there's a lot of action in that.
There's a lot of
where,
action.
you
We
know,
have to do a lot of action to
a
make
lot
sales.
of research, a lot
Yeah.
of
I mean, it's me, my 2 other guys that are next to me at the office where we post all the parts. And we kind of have to do our research. And also, a lot matters on, doing the research on the cost of prices, but making sure that you actually post the parts correctly, like in the right categories and the right groups and the right, stuff like that, because that makes a difference. The right keywords make a big difference.
Right, sponsors.
For someone finding it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
You also sponsor a couple.
Yeah,
guys
we
to get your
do.
name out there, too.
It's that's advertisement in terms of advertisement of the company. Yeah, we got a guy who down in Vegas who we sponsor that drifts. He works on now. He's one of the guys who's looking for Lambo parts, basically R8s and stuff like that. Then we have another sponsor up in North Dakota that we supply us 1,000 parts to. They promote our name during the summer and stuff like
experience.
that.
You guys know what you're doing. And, and you
they buy from
capitalize.
us. We give them a good price. They buy from us, right? So then they promote us for that, basically something for something, right? But there was a lot of things I would do differently. I wouldn't buy a lot of inventory at once. I've done that. I've been doing that, but now I kind of calmed down on that.
What's the longest you ever sat on a part?
Probably still has parts.
I still have parts from fucking 2019 on me right now.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? So there are certain parts that just don't sell. That's the.
When do you get to the point where you toss the shit?
You get to when you're cleaning out the shop, because you're just looking at it. You're like, this tag is from 2019, and this part's still here, and now it looks even shittier than it looked originally.
Yeah.
Out you go. Get it down off inventory, get rid of it. That's another hard part about this business is that you don't really know what's worth money, what isn't. What could be worth money, what doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's worth money. You know what I mean?
You can easily toss something out.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. You don't know what somebody is looking for. You're throwing shit up.
Do you
there.
keep an entire car piece by piece from it, right?
Or
do
just
you
the main part.
or the main parts? And a lot of times you keep the main parts and you sell them maybe a little bit over time. But a lot of guys are calling like, "Hey, do you have this specific part?" No, I tossed it.
Do you have this little?
Never thought it would be fucking worth money.
Piece.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like that's hard. It's a lot of research. It's a lot of everything. But yeah, I would definitely do a couple things differently if I was going to start from. I would do the same business, but I would do it differently. Like I said, I wouldn't buy a bunch of inventory at once. I wouldn't have 50 cars sitting outside in the lot for inventory. My next step for this business would be when I get to a new place, I won't inventory more than 5 cars at one time.
5's max.
Yeah. Process the cars.
Have you gotten to 6, 7, 8 before or no?
Bro, I mean, I have like I said, there's points where I have 50, 60 cars in the lot sometimes.
Jesus.
And they just sit out there, and then they basically start, rotting and shit, and the stuff gets, you don't get the value.
You got migrants living in them and stuff.
I just start renting each one of those cars, fucking to each one of those guys.
Who's gonna be in the trunk?
But you never do. We find all kinds of crazy shit in these cars, but so that's a mistake I made, thinking that hey, I'll buy the inventory now and I'll have it, but then you don't get to it in a soon enough time because new inventory comes in that you want to get to first, and then you forget about it.
Yeah, and it's
not that you forget about it,
waste
it's
of
just
space, right?
Waste of space, but waste of inventory. Because that inventory goes to waste sometimes. Sometimes if it sits too long, it just becomes worthless.
Or something selling hot, so you buy more. And
yeah. I've been through those episodes as well.
And it stops.
Dude, there's way too many pieces in that business.
There is a lot.
You have to be sharp. I mean, you're a mechanic, so you enjoy it. I don't believe you feel like you work. You kind of enjoy what you're doing, right?
I like what we do. I mean, like I said, if I was to decide what am I doing next, I would continue the business, but under a whole new layout.
Yeah, it's a niche too. Not a lot of people like doing this stuff, right? So I mean,
well, there's plenty of guys who pop up here and there, but they're short term.
Yeah.
I did it for a little bit, then it wasn't really worth it at the end of the day. It is what it is, So there's a lot of those guys that fall off. There's guys that went from small to big to huge. There's plenty of those guys. But competition is competition, like we talked about before, like we talked about yesterday. Dude.
Competition is good for everybody.
Yeah, it is 100%. Even
if
as
you're
a seller
scared
who's
of competition, you just need to work on your game.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And that's the problem with today. Everyone's scared of competition, dude. You got kids winning 15th place trophy.
Yeah,
What are we talking about, right?
I
they don't know what it means to win, right?
We're at a point right now, and currently in this time where it's slow, so now it gives us time to kind of look around and see and kind of decide. We should maybe do this differently, try this differently.
And take a step back to reflect.
Take a step back to reflect and realize we could do this better. We can, price better. We can make the product look better.
You know what the problem is today? No one takes a step back to slow down and say, what are we doing wrong?
Yeah.
Nobody likes to
I
look
mean,
inside.
I'm 100% guilty of that until a certain point, you know.
Well,
so-
that's the ego in play, right? Nobody likes to be fucking wrong, right?
nobody likes to be
Everybody
wrong.
wants to be right every single time. So when you take a step back and say, listen, I screwed this up. This is where I need to get better. Dude, you know, you had coworkers where you tell them, like, listen, you suck at this, but you're great at this.
Yeah.
You need to get better at this. And
Stick
and
to
they
that,
don't
what
like
you're good at.
hearing it, right?
Yeah.
They don't like hearing it. You need to be self-aware where you're telling these people something they already know.
Yeah.
You don't think someone knows that they suck at this? They
Yeah,
know.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But when they hear it out loud, it hits a shot at the ego. It's like their pride is being hurt.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not, and
But that's-
it's hard to communicate to someone like, "Hey, I love you as a person, but you're wasting your potential.
Yeah.
And this is how much you could
But-
be so much better."
That's needed.
That is needed, but
That's
people are
needed.
scared
People
to
don't,
do
people
it.
don't want to, and people don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it also
Yeah.
depends on a person's personality at the
Well,
same
like-
time, right?
I tell my guys, I'm like, dude, guys, if I'm doing something wrong, or if I'm doing something poor, just tell me. I'm like, I'm not gonna be like, well, you're wrong, you know. I'm like, just tell me I'm doing something wrong. So I'm like, the longer I do something wrong is the worse for you guys,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, ask my guys in my shop, bro. I call them out all the time on shit. All the
Yeah,
time.
but- Do they
call you
then-
out?
But they call me out too,
Right.
so that's the way it's supposed to work.
But
Like,
I think the best way to learn is you get thrown into a deep end, and when you fuck up, you slow down
Yeah,
and you
look back.
realize
You
what
reflect.
mistakes you
Yeah,
make.
you reflect.
If
You
you
don't
don't,
make 'em again.
let somebody make mistakes, they can never learn.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like lending your friend money.
That's been
right?
like that since
You're-
the beginning, dude.
You are ruining their opportunity to learn, to suffer. Right? If you
Yeah.
give somebody a get
Well,
out of jail free card while giving them money.
Let's step back
right?
from that and say, give them money in terms of do what? In terms of, I'm gonna lend you $100,000 to expand your business because
And
you're
there's-
at that
there's-
point, right?
There's scopes of that. Yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Or is it, I'm gonna lend you $100,000 because you're in the hole and
Yeah.
you need help?
Yeah.
You're probably not gonna get the $100,000 back.
No.
There's a very good chance that you won't, right? It really depends on a person
And
who
you're
you're giving
taking-
to, and then you're gonna have to really study that person and know,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Yeah, you're taking that lesson away from that person. You're
Yes,
giving them a
100%.
fucking out, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So-
Well, that's
and-
an out. That's an out for a certain person for sure. For sure. I mean, that's an out. That's an easy out if you have the right people that can give you that out.
and then they guilt trip you into not doing it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, you put yourself in this position,
Exactly.
dude. There's way too much bullshit going on where people spend more time planning their vacations than they plan their lives, right? So
I mean, you guys got to plan your the next day at work, bro. I mean,
not
really.
even that. No one is slow down and think about what you're doing. What habits have you created that are dog shit, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
write it down. Actually think about what you're doing wrong and self-reflect. And then that
Writing
shit's
it down
gonna
is
hurt. That
writing it
shit's
down
gonna
is a good
hurt.
option because
Yeah.
just because you can memorize it, you just fucking forget about
No,
it.
you write it down because then
Right.
when you see it on paper, it hurts
Write,
that much
write it,
more.
write it down, post it somewhere you're gonna see every day.
Yeah. Write it down every day. What do I got to get better at, right? But dude, with technology nowadays, first thing people do, wake up, look at the phone, what's going on in the world, right?
Literally the same thing in the morning.
Instagram, yeah, Twitter. You can't be on your phone, man. It's
No, you can. You can.
Just
You just
need to understand.
really have to work hard on the fact that you have to keep yourself to a limit.
See, I'm complete opposite. Social media gets deleted Monday through Friday. Everything's gone.
But you're
All
on it, are you on the weekend?
on the weekend, I get my dopamine high, baby. We are swinging reels, TikToks, YouTubes, Twitter.
Hey, you said you don't have TikTok, you liar.
I watch it on my wife's phone. I can pull my phone up right now. I'll show
Probably
you.
got a burner phone at home.
Burner phone just for TikTok on weekends. Bro.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good.
Try that.
That's a good strategy. For
Dude,
sure.
think about it. I work from home, so for me to sit on the
But the problem for you is that you work from home, so that
Yeah.
for you can just get
but
sucked
even
in right in, right?
even imagine if you had that. Even if you work at the office,
Yeah.
you know how much more present I am when in a conversation.
For sure.
I'm not
But
thinking
I'm-
about what somebody else is doing.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking about what this person is telling me.
I wouldn't lie. I give a couple times, dude. My CEO comes to me and say, "Hey, a couple people notice like you're on your phone." I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing on my phone. Right?
You don't even know,
yeah.
you're not even self-aware. You're not
Yeah.
even conscious that you're on your phone because
Right.
it just becomes
I'm
an
like-
addiction.
Naturally, it comes
And
naturally
like
to you.
he, I think he talked to me a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, damn.
We
I'm like,
gotta
what the?
straighten you up.
I'm like, what the hell am I doing? So this week, dude, on my way to work, text my girlfriend. I hope we have a good day at work. Don't text her back the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I'll call her after work. And then I just put my phone to the side now. And just, the only time I look at it is like if I'm play like music or something,
Yeah.
just in the background.
Dude, it's an
And I'll
addiction,
play it,
bro.
and then- and that's it.
especially like you leave the house with no phone. You ever try that,
Bro,
dude?
You're missing it, right? You're missing it.
Well, it gives people anxiety.
100%, dude.
You know what I mean? So
100%.
it's a scary place to be in if you drop that shit. I'm
I get
telling
it.
you, the
I
flip
get it.
phone's
I get it.
coming
I get
back.
it. If I did that, I'd fucking get 100%. If I left my phone at home, I'd get anxiety for sure from the crypto prices, bro.
Maybe it's a better thing.
Dude,
you don't get to
yeah,
see the
100%.
downside.
the crazier
100%.
part now is people are more scared to leave their phone at home than their wallet. You know?
Well, with
you
your phone,
have
you
your
can pay for a
wallet.
lot of
You,
shit,
you
right?
have your wallet on your phone, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
well,
haven't used the card in a
that's
while.
why.
do.
That's
Yeah.
why it doesn't like. I forgot my phone at home plenty of times. I'm like driving. I'm like, fuck. I'm not driving back 30 minutes. You know, but if it was my phone,
Yeah.
you probably turn around,
Well,
drive
you
back
got-
30 minutes. To
You
get.
got you got your key on your phone.
Yeah.
You got your card where you could pull money out the
Yep.
ATM.
Yep.
It's simple.
It's all in one now, right? That's literally the definition of all in one.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's what the phone is, right? Even though I don't have any of that information on my
It's
phone,
the
so I'd be
best thing
fucked.
and the worst thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. But
This thing right here. This
yeah,
thing right
yeah.
here. This fucking
The thing we're recording on, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Best thing
100%.
and the worst thing.
Look at all it could be used for, and then but at the same time, and you know,
Yeah,
Dude, imagine showing this to your babcha, man. And she'd be like, "What the hell?" Is
and then
this,
showing
bro?"
her the video, of the quality.
Yeah.
Show her this right now. She'll be like,
Yeah.
"What
For
the hell are you guys
future,
doing?
bro. You
stupid
guys
people."
time traveled. What the hell is this?
Yeah,
You know,
dude. Isn't that crazy though? I mean, how old are you?
32.
You're 30. I'm 36, dude. I'm gonna be 37. Fucking old.
Age is just a number, bro.
No shit. That's
You're
the way I
old
look
'cause
at
you
it.
keep
dude.
drinking these Stellas. That's
Hell
why.
no,
Hey,
bro.
man.
Man, this
Ages
is
you
like once
like
a week, dude. Once a week. Twice a week and then one day.
Once a day.
No.
I'll tell
Once
you
a
what.
week, 3 times.
Once I cut out the booze, anxiety gone.
Bro,
Mental.
this for me,
You will have zero anxiety with crypto.
I don't
if you
have
stop
anxiety
drinking.
with crypto because of this. I can tell you that right now because I don't drink. I drink here. But I actually started drinking beer more often right now because I had kidney stones.
Trying to piss them out, huh?
Yeah.
This is what this is here for.
No, it's medicine.
Basically,
it's not even drinking, it's medicine.
To be visual.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. So I'm not a heavy. It used to be not a heavy drinker, but I used to drink often.
Same.
That hasn't
Yeah.
happened in a
I
couple
barely,
of years,
I
man.
barely, I barely drink on weekends now.
Dude, I don't have.
Yeah, but the times are shifting, bro. You don't realize there's a reason there's a liquor store on every corner, and liquor is easier to get than anything in the world.
100%.
You know,
100%.
that just slows you down.
Yeah,
Dude, you're numbing the pain of what's really going on
I
with your
know
life.
plenty of people like that. So that's.
And don't get me wrong, I got nothing against it. I love drinking, and that's why I can't. Right?
Yeah.
It's the beer of the smell of that right now. It gets me excited. It gives me goosebumps, bro.
I mean, you're getting
you smell
anxiety.
good, bro. It's not even yeah.
You're getting anxiety, bro.
But I know the road that leads to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
You start drinking that, you fuck off with everything else in your life, right?
No, I'm not at that point. I
Okay, but you're at the point where imagine if you cut that. Imagine how much better
I
you
would
be.
cut that if I felt better.
You do feel better.
I don't feel better when I have kidney stones.
You never went a week without drinking.
Bro, are you kidding me?
Uh-huh.
How do you know?
How long have you gone without boozing?
Before I started drinking the beer for my kidney stones, which was what 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, bro, I
Longer.
probably didn't drink for like a month.
Month, that's it?
I mean, that's
Go a year.
Listen,
Go a year without booze. Let me know how you feel.
I will do that. I mean, I can do that, no problem. No, that's not a question.
Yeah. And then report back to me on episode 55. We'll check back how you feel, right?
But
how you feel.
listen, everything is made for everybody to a limit. Smoking, drinking, doing mushrooms and cocaine and whatever the
but
fuck
this
else.
is the
You know,
only socially acceptable substance that wrecks you, and people make like I haven't drank
Alcohol, you're talking
heavy
about
in
alcohol.
4 years, right? And people are giving co się stało? Chory jesteś? What's
yeah, no
wrong
shit.
with
Yeah.
you? I
No
was
shit.
like, bro,
If I
are
go
you
somewhere-
serious
if
right
I
now?
go somewhere to a party and I'm not drinking at that party, they're like,
Yeah,
"The fuck's wrong with you?" I'm
yeah,
like, "Nothing."
Nothing.
dude.
Yeah.
exactly.
The fuck's wrong with you?
You go to a Polish wedding and you don't drink, bro. You're
Well, that was-
crucified,
listen,
bro.
that's-
You're a devil,
That's
bro.
that's different.
You know.
That's a culture, bro.
That's called. Yeah,
It is, and it's flawed.
That's culture.
It's flawed, bro, because that's how we've all been raised, and that's been in our mindset the whole time, right?
Yeah, I can say that it's flawed from one point of view, but on another point of view, they had nothing else but to drink, dude.
yeah.
At a certain point in time.
100%.
You know what I mean? There was a certain point in time,
And
and
there's so much
literally nothing else to
wasted-
do except get drunk and just have the best
Wasted
time because it
potential
was a
from
shitty time.
people drinking, bro. Like you don't. I don't know. My biggest thing is like I want to know.
But
what
wasted
I'm
potential when? Let's say you're 50 years back right now. You're living in, let's say, Poland, example, right? Wasted potential in what terms? You have one way of making income, which is going to go have a job and go, make some kind of paper clips or some shit at a factory. I mean, and that's the only job that's available.
Correct, but we're not in 50 years.
That's what
ago.
I'm saying.
You
But
know
that's
what I mean?
But that's where the culture
That's where it
right?
started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
We're battling ancestors now.
Yeah,
We're
100%.
battling
Now it's a different time.
Longer.
Now you can find things to do, even if the things will find you. You don't even have to find them; they will find you. But you have to take them into account, right?
Yeah.
You have to actually try to make something of it, right? Me drinking this fucking beer over here, right? Like I said, this is for kidney stone related, all right? So, but I used to be a heavier drinker when I was a younger kid.
Same.
Now, and I'm married for a while already. I have kids. I mean, I don't have time for that, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I literally don't have time to go sit down, and drink. I have buddies who are like, oh, I go home, I always pop myself a drink or whatever. Dude, when?
Mm-hmm.
How?
It's not even that. That shit slows you down. That's my biggest thing. My biggest thing is going through your entire life, bro, and looking back when you're 70, 80 years old and say, fuck, I had so much. I don't know about you guys, but dude, from when I was little, I knew some shit inside me was saying, dude, you're fucking meant to crush it, right? And you have that shit in your mind, and then when you look at that and you see it slowing you down and how it makes you feel, the anxiety, the hangovers, all that shit, then you're like, dude, I don't fucking need this. You know what I mean? And then once you get into, and then when you do have one, like I'll drink on vacation, dude, I fucking enjoy it that much more,
Yeah, I mean, I agree. But it's like, even if you're successful all the way up to the age of your retirement or whenever you decide, you're still going to look back and say, damn, I should have done this differently. I could have done this differently.
100%.
You know what I mean?
But
there's always going to be something that you can look back at.
100%. There's so many people that are
you can give 100%,
making
but
their
you can also give 120%.
Yeah, 100%.
The problem is that 20% is way harder than that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you're gonna look back and you'll be like, should have done 130.
Well, that or
Only,
you do 120%, but then you look back and you say, damn, because of that 120%, I missed out on other things. Some people are like,
but only you know if you gave it your all.
100%.
You know what I mean?
No
like
one else is gonna tell you that.
When you tell somebody, hey, like, say you got a kid playing a sport, and you say, hey, leave it all out there. You don't know if that kid has.
100%.
I played sports, and
We
I
all
know
do.
if I played 100% or I gave 50%
yeah,
gas,
for
right?
sure. So you can
only
apply
you
that
know
to
that.
everything. You can apply that to everything.
To everything.
Yeah,
You
can
know,
apply that to
work,
everything.
business,
Yep.
everything. Your whole life.
Yep.
Are you given 50% or 100%, right?
Yep.
And if you go at 100% at everything.
But life has so many different aspects that even if you say you give 100% to life, you're gonna miss out on something else.
What are you going to miss out on?
There are all kinds of different things.
You're given everything you have.
I
You're
mean,
not
yes.
missing- that's life to its fullest.
Yeah, well, that's what you hope for, right?
Yeah.
No, you're hoping for that 100% to be the life to the fullest.
Mhm.
But there are things along the way that
You either pick this or that. You give 100% to that, and you miss out on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's direction and faith, right?
I mean, how many people gave 100% to,
Their job,
business
but-
or their job,
And
and
they
then
get
they left
fired?
their family alone.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
if-
that's the balance of what you
But that
value
balance
is
is
a per-
super hard to
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
figure out.
Yeah.
The
Do you know
balance
do you know how
is
hard it is to give 120% and then go home and
But
And
that
be
comes
negative
down
20%
to
to everything else?
But that comes down to having the discipline to have the communication with your wife, your kids, and say,
Sure.
hey, dad is doing this for this reason.
Sure.
Listen, today I'm going to be late. But how many times have your parents busted their ass? They didn't tell you shit. They just got back. Musha to robić, right? I
That's
just got
it.
back,
Yeah.
right? But if they sat down with you and say, son, I'm doing this because of this,
Yeah.
we're going to spend time this weekend. When the weekend comes, give dad 100%.
Yeah.
You don't get that shit.
Yep.
Yep.
You don't see that shit nowadays. You got
Yep.
parents not giving it 100%. And when I see it, you could see it.
Yeah.
And then the
100%.
kid grows up and he's like, I have no relationship with the parents, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because they're always giving 100% somewhere else,
Yeah.
right?
That
But
100
if you explain that shit to the kid and say, I'm doing this right now, 100%, but give me the weekend, it's our time, put the phone away and be fucking present,
Yep.
it's a game changer.
Yep. But that literally is up to every person to
Oh, yeah.
figure that out, that path out, right? And
Plus,
and
it's easy to say, harder to do.
100%.
You know?
Everything we said here is easy to say,
Yeah.
much harder to do.
Yeah. People know what they have to do. They just don't fucking do it.
Well, some people don't want to do it. Some
Yeah.
people can't do it, and some people just don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And then you get the people that know what to do and then complain about all the shit that is going wrong in their lives, but they know how to fix it, and they still don't want to fucking fix it.
You know, there's literally a person for every scenario. Literally.
Yeah.
And everybody handles it differently.
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
But
But you should always have a positive outlook towards life.
you have to.
That's it. You can't be
That's-
always negative, dude. You can't always be
Dude.
you can't always be looking at it from a perspective of somebody said some shit about me, so I'm gonna feel sad. Fuck
Bro,
that person.
No.
You know
No,
what I mean?
you got to fucking
That's one
move on.
aspect of it out of like 100.
Focus on what you could control.
100%.
Everything else doesn't fucking matter, right? You get to the point where you start realizing that. Focus on what you could control. You could give 100% at what you're doing, your job, your relationships, your friends, your family,
Yep.
everything,
Yep.
right? Everything else is out of your control.
Yep.
Let the chips fall where they fall,
Yep.
right?
So you want to
And
casino.
the harder you try, sometimes the worse you're gonna make it.
That does
Yeah,
happen.
But the
I'm-
harder you
I'm-
try, you learn from it.
Yeah,
right?
I was saying the harder you try to change somebody else's mind,
Oh, it's over, bro.
right?
I spent years trying to change people, dude. When I stopped drinking, started eating clean, working out, all this shit, drinking water, reading, everything, just self-help shit, right? I felt like I was fucking on top of the world, like I couldn't be stopped, and I kept telling everybody, "You got to do this." I'm telling you, and my wife.
I know,
like,
bro.
my
I
wife
know you
would
since
come
when
to
you were a
me-
younger kid. I know you since you were a younger
My
kid compared to
wife
today. You're not the same person.
My wife would come to me and she's like, "Fucking stop." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "I feel fucking great." You know, like this. I can't believe people are not doing this. Like, this is a cheat code. This is what life should be. She's like, "Dude, people don't want to change, right? People want to stay with where they're at."
I didn't record.
No way.
No, the audio, not the video. The video is good.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was gonna say, bro.
I think we're how long we in?
No, we're in a bit. We're about hour 15 maybe.
Hour 5.
Yeah. So
We got,
we'll be finishing this up
we
shortly.
got 2 more hours to hit Joe's time.
to hit Trump's time.
I could bang out 3, bro. I could.
Dude, we
shoot
could
the
sit
shit
here for a
an hour. I could talk all
long
day.
time. So,
We're
I
just
mean,
gonna
I like
f-
talking.
we just-
Flexible, bro.
we
I
just-
could go politics, self-help.
We just might
shit
freeze
bags.
by
I could go
3
everything,
hours.
bro.
How much did we
Yeah,
talk
bro,
about?
turn the heat on, bro. You ran out of energy in here, bro. I came in here. It was cold.
We're on a budget, bro. We're on a
Nah,
budget.
He
There's-
turned off his miners.
My yeah. What the hell? My
Hey,
my feet are
I wonder if you turn on the miners if it.
cold.
you'll hear it,
bro.
you'll hear it.
Fucking, you get radiation from them, dude. Fucking Chernobyl here, bro, in Homer Glen.
Welcome.
Jeez,
Join the dark side.
It's too
the
late.
glowing
It's too
side.
late. You've been here for a couple hours already.
I'm done.
How much shit did we shoot before we even started this podcast when the other guy was around here?
At least an hour, bro.
For sure. But I mean, it is what it is. We had technical
It was
difficulties. From our,
testing. We were testing.
we had technical difficulties
To tell
from the
you the
last,
truth,
last episode.
For all we know, we could still be having them.
I mean,
and
you just
won't
pressed
know.
you just pressed the ball button right now, so maybe we're just gonna be hearing somebody finally.
Yeah. That's all
No, I
right.
pressed your button, bro.
Oh shit!
Paul's done talking.
I'm gonna be out for a while.
Cooked.
But technical difficulties. You got to work with us.
I mean,
It is what
We,
it is.
you might have them again this episode. Who knows?
It's the 4th podcast. We're learning here, right?
Yeah.
100%. But yeah, you
This
know,
is- this
you're the
is-
first guest that we have on here, so
It's an honor, bro.
yeah, I
You
mean,
gotta-
we're gonna have
next
on-
time I come, I'll bring a present, and we'll.
come next week.
You know, it's this is fun getting to know this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's definitely interesting.
I'm a
that's for
nerd,
sure.
right? So like, this is 2 weeks in the making since we decided to use a computer, and I'm over here like trying to sync everything up. I figured out how to. I can go home
in
and start.
2 weeks,
I can go home and start streaming
Yeah.
my fucking video games, which I should probably stop playing so much. But you know,
That shit's addicting too.
Yep.
But it is what it is. People
Dude,
have vices,
everybody
right?
Here's the thing,
has
though.
an addiction of some sort, bro.
here's the thing though. I'd rather play a video game and stay home than go out,
Blow
get
your money.
trashed, and blow money. Everything I play is free, right? Sure.
Listen, bro.
I won't deny that it wastes time and I could be doing other stuff that's productive. I'm not gonna lie about that. I am well aware, right? And so I'm gonna get to one of those stages where I'm already getting to that stage where I'm like, man, I don't fucking feel like playing. What else am I gonna do? And it's like,
Make
if
money.
if I got off for a few days, I'd probably figure something out. You know?
Dude, we used to play. You know who Nadeshot is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so me and my buddy Polikas and Jemba, we played with
Didn't
Nadeshot.
Ozag play too with them?
Yeah, we all played, right? And I mean, I'm gonna throw some shade. We were better than him. And this kid's like, "Yo, we're gonna go join this team." And me and Palikas, bro, we're 16, 17. We're like, bro, we're trying to drink, right? We ain't got time to play video games. Dude, I wake up when I'm 25. This kid's signing with fucking Drake on first video game.
100 Thieves, right? Because he made 100 Thieves.
And I was like, dude, my mom's. I just heard my mom. "I kurva graš te gre." I'm like, oh man, I should have just fucking kept playing, bro.
Yeah.
And
That not drinking, right?
Well, that proves that if you want to do something, go all in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go all in. You could make
Yeah,
money doing anything, bro.
But how long does it take for you to learn that lesson?
Or how many other people before you does it take? to
Not
learn?
even that, but how do you? Where does it finally click to the point where you're like, damn, go all in, get it done, right? You were 16 and you're like, did you tell yourself then go all in and go play?
No shot.
Exactly.
Because to me,
It was a waste of time.
No, to me, I didn't see a future in it.
Yeah, well, that's
because I
so
wasn't.
technically a waste of time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Technically a waste of time. You don't see a future in it. Why would I do it? Why would I continue doing it, right?
I didn't see myself going down that path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly.
Don't get me wrong. I love video games,
Yeah.
but I didn't see myself as a gamer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And dude, video games are awesome, right? But
Yeah.
at some point, it's like, all right, time
Get a
to
real life.
time to work in reality
Yeah.
instead of video games, right?
Yeah.
But
You
some
gotta-
people,
But at
some
that
people
point-
make it a reality, right?
That's what I'm saying,
Right.
and there's nothing against it. These people,
Nope.
dude, these
Okay,
streamers
yes,
make
dude.
more money than all of us combined.
Combined.
You
For
know?
for sure, dude.
And there's nothing wrong with that because that's
my
they
idea
went
was,
all in.
my idea was always like, dude, I'm not like really good at any games, right? I'm like, I'm good enough where I can play any game, but I'm not really good at any game. And I was like, man, what if I
You
just like
suck, huh?
fuck?
What the fuck, bro? What's your KD, man? Negative? What do you got?
I don't play shooters.
Dude,
I used to.
what do you play? Zelda?
I played. I
Bro,
played the most toxic.
when it was out on N64. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how
yeah.
we played Zelda.
Homies playing
that
Zelda.
and Glover.
Glover, bro, Glover.
No, I don't. I played the most toxic game around.
World of Warcraft?
Nope, League of Legends.
Jesus, bro. Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
burn the
so.
But
Computer,
I
bro.
play like the side game. Like it's a different one. And
Hey, everybody's
There's-
got their shit, bro.
right.
You know?
Well, at least the one that I play is all. It's a lot of strategy. So you gotta think. Right.
Let's go back to what you said before.
Oh.
You said you know you're wasting time,
Yeah.
but it's better than not fucking off and going to the bar,
Yeah.
right? Can you imagine if you put that work into yourself?
100%. Listen, I told you. I know it's a waste of time,
So
right?
when are you gonna stop?
When I figure out what to do next, right?
Well, no, because if I'm playing video games, I'm not gonna be able to figure out what I'm
When,
doing next.
when are you gonna stop? When are
I-
you gonna
when I
say
start
enough is
streaming.
enough?
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
If
I,
you
put
want
that
to
much
stream,
energy,
I
listen,
don't
if you
want
put
to
that much,
stream.
if you put that much energy into promoting our podcast and playing gaming, bro, we'd be fucking, we'd be rich
top-
already. dude.
Brother,
top
brother.
3 on Spotify.
brother, I'm the only one putting in work right now.
That's right. I built the, hey,
But
listen,
this is the capital, bro. You're not doing nothing. You ain't putting nothing down, and you
I'm
just
not
nah,
saying
he's
I'm
doing the
putting in-
technicals. I'm doing building shit. But I mean, it is what it is, dude. I mean, but they, 50-50 at the end of the day is what you want, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I got nothing against, you know that stuff better than I do. That's why I don't really want to get involved. I'll go share this shit on Twitter because that's where I sit sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I gotta make it.
But
But somebody's gotta make it.
someone's gonna make
No,
it. That's you.
100%.
That's where you come in.
Everyone has. I mean, it's like going into a business with your boy, and you guys are both killers at one thing. It's just not going to work.
No,
You got to
no.
have two different aspects, two
Yes,
different views
100%.
for it to work, right?
Yep,
It
yep.
needs to offset itself.
It's hard to. Sometimes it's hard to go into a partnership with somebody you do 50-50 if you guys are both thinking the same way. But
Because it's tough to have that conversation.
The
and
conversation is very
self-reflect.
hard.
It's fucking hard,
It's
bro.
hard,
the
bro.
hardest thing. Who taught you how to communicate? Anyone?
no,
No, same.
You were never born. Your parents didn't say, "Hey, let's take a communications class," right?
hell no.
Oh, so the kurva gupi? Yeah, that's exactly what
High
they
school
hit
didn't
you.
help too much either.
No, there's no classes. There's no
We had a
education.
communications class, public speaking, but like public speaking in front of your friends is different than public speaking in front of 100 strangers.
Yes, and how to have deep conversations.
Yeah.
Influential,
Or how to do your taxes.
Not even that. Taxes. I mean, I could care less to do it. You just have a
Sure.
guy
Okay,
doing
but how about like?
Well, this is
But communication, you use communication every single day, and no one has. There's no class. There's no education on it. There's no. How do I communicate?
self-taught. At
It's
first,
self-taught.
at least, you can.
How do you think we got here? What do you think we're doing here?
Talking, communication,
dude.
And this is the number one tool to learn how to communicate.
Oh, 100%, because you can listen to so many different people who have so many different approaches to the same thing.
Yep.
Communication.
And
you could do it this way, you could do it that way.
What's everything in life? Practice.
Yep.
You continue doing this, you get better.
That and trial and error.
You get better.
Trial and error.
You look at your first podcast versus your 100th, and you're going to say, dude, we're shitbags.
But that's what I'm saying. I was looking, seeing you could say that not like my, what's the word? My role model. Not really my role model, but I looked at Joe Rogan's podcast. Like I seen the first one that he ever did. It was such a sleazy ass thing.
Yeah, they're all sleazy, man.
I know. And then I look at a couple other ones, and I'm like, yes, it's all like kind of sleazy in the beginning because you're just trying a lot. Realistically, I don't blame nobody for trying it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Dude, you gotta try it. You gotta start somewhere.
You have to start somewhere.
And I'm like,
I
like talking to people.
What frustrates me the most is, bro, people think that they're gonna start a new thing and they're gonna
it's
be
gonna
a
fucking blow up.
millionaire
Yeah.
in fucking
Yeah.
one day.
Yeah. Nope.
Dude, it takes at least 5 years.
For
right?
podcasters to make money?
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
At least.
Unless somehow
Anything, though. Your
planets
first
align.
3 years in your business, how were they? Terrible.
Tough, bro.
Yeah.
I was
Fourth year,
very.
tough. Fifth, maybe started a little
Yeah.
bit. And
It
then
took
it starts
me-
growing, right?
It took me, I want to say it took me about 6 years to start finally being like profitable and
Same.
like showing like, like
6,
some
7 is when I finally
got in that
blew-
stride. Yeah.
You get into that flow state, you
Yeah.
get confident, and you
Yeah.
know what you're doing.
It was fucking hard,
Yeah.
man. Dude, starting a business by yourself and just doing it
I
from
give you
nothing,
props,
from
man,
scratch.
because starting a
Fuck, it
business,
was hard.
you have nobody else to blame.
Well, you have nobody else to lean back on either. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, you're not hiding in front of anybody. You are the face.
you are the face, you are the business, right? Like the first guys I dealt with, bro.
You win or you lose. It's all on you.
I mean, I did all of it. I did some winning, I did some losing, I did all kinds of shit because at the end of the day, I built it from nothing. My dad borrowed me $1,000. I took the $1,000
Pay him
bucks.
back.
Yeah, I paid him back.
Good.
Probably fucking with interest. I don't remember anymore.
That guy's gonna get an extra money out.
Now he's gonna want a portion of the fucking business. But-
equity in A1.
but,
A Solutions.
But
What is he, a steak sauce?
A1 steak sauce, bro. Hey, I gotta let Pops get in on the equity.
but that was hard, man. It was a tough time. I started that business and then like 2 years later I got married.
Did you start the business because you didn't want to work for anybody, or did you want
Yeah.
your own thing?
I wanted my own thing, but I also didn't want to work for anybody.
All right, good.
Like I wanted to work. I didn't really. It was more of a me wanting to do my own thing.
That's the hardest thing to do, bro. Entrepreneurs it's the hardest.
Dude, I put in so much. Like before I actually went and started buying cars, started out, I quit my mechanic's job because me and my boss at the time got into it, which we're friends now and everything. But
That's
we had
the
our
best thing that happens.
we had our differences. Yeah, you can say that because then after that I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking work from my house.
Yeah,
So
you
I'm
went
gonna.
all in.
I started doing car repairs in my garage.
I remember that time.
Swapping transmissions on the ground,
Mhm.
taking them off by hand, bro, with no lift or anything like that. Literally, I was doing it as manual labor as you can do it.
Jeez.
I remember the car that was in there the most.
IS 300.
IS 300, dude. It was one specific one too.
I had a couple of buddies who had the same cars, and it was the same shit every time.
I still love that car.
But I was doing that in my garage and a bunch of other jobs, brake jobs and engines, a little bit of engine work, nothing crazy. Then these guys coming in with these transmissions and shit, which weren't hard jobs if you had a lift.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to do these on the fucking 4 jack stands. The car's on 4 jack stands. I had to get under there on my roller, drop the trans on my body basically, so it could roll out with it, bro. It was such a pain. I learned hard work then.
Mm-hmm.
I really that was physical hard work. And I did that for a while, and then I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's finally time to get back into this whole parts business thing. Because that car I did originally was like a one-time thing. And I'm like, there's money in there, but I just didn't invest too much time into it.
Yeah, you didn't think. You didn't think anything of it, right?
I did start investing time into it as I was working at the shop still. But then when I quit the job, and this was all at once. I was going to high school, or I was going to college and everything. I dropped out of college and shit like that. So I had all kinds of shit going
Best
on.
move you made.
And
I did the same thing, same college.
and
Moraine Valley.
no,
hell no, we went to fucking high school, bro.
Bro,
We went to high.
I'm one credit away from you having an associate's, bro.
No,
They
we went
they
to-
still keep calling me. Moraine
we
Valley
went
to
to-
come back.
we went to
IIT,
IIT, bro, which was a high-end engineering school.
That's a plug right there, bro.
And
Sponsor you,
the
man.
fact that we both said it at the same time too.
I was like 2.5 years in, and I fucking quit. I said, "Fuck this.
Same exact
School's
time.
not for me."
Yeah.
I was more of always a hands-on kind of guy. and I'm like, I'm gonna go for a civil engineer. I'm gonna sit behind a desk and draw, pictures and shit. I'm like, not pictures, but plans and stuff like that. At the end of the day, I thought about it. I'm like, that's not what I want to do.
Yeah,
I don't want to do it.
I did computer engineering, and I'm like, I gotta sit and code all day. I'm like, fuck that.
So I went and I, continued working at the shop and shit, doing cars and whatnot. And then I, like I said, I did the one car. Then I bought a couple more, but they were like shitty investments. They made some money, but very little. Kind of almost wasn't worth it. I actually started this with I originally started this with my coworker, the parts business.
Okay.
But after about a year, he's like, I don't see money in this. This isn't worth it for me. It's,
Damn, he's
it is what it is.
Be looking at this.
So he's like,
Who was it?
Nazar.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, me and him were in it together. And then he just kind of wanted to do his own thing and realistically didn't see much in it.
That's the best thing that happened to you.
Yes, it did.
It's
That was the best thing, but it was, bro, but it was fucking,
Well,
it was
how
hard,
the chips
man.
fall in line?
But it was hard because then after he walked off from that, it was just whatever was left over. He's like, just give me some money for it, whatever it was. Take the rest of this shit and do what you want with it. So then I had to find my own place. Then I quit my job. The chronological order for this is kind of all fucked up. But basically, at the end of the day, I ran this business out of my garage, my parents' garage, before I actually pulled the trigger, got my own place.
Yeah.
In terms of I got my own place, I got a lot where I had a trailer where I kept all this shit. I sold as much as I could locally. The next step was I got kicked out of there. So then I had to go to Indiana to my buddy's place where he helped me a lot. He did help me a lot because he had licenses to the auctions. He had space in his lot. The problem was I was still outside. I did all my work for 4 years outside.
Jeez.
All of it.
It's where all my best friends worked.
All his friends worked there. A bunch of my friends worked there for me or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was all outside. I never worked inside of a shop for 4 years straight. It was all on a forklift. It was all on the ground. It was all outside. Rain, snow, whatever it was. I had to do it because I had to make money, dude. There was no other income.
Zero compromise. There's no other option.
There was no other option.
You burned the boats and you're gonna
so
make
I
it
did
work.
everything I could at that point. I gathered some money together, and then I finally got it to where I was able to afford to buy a shop, which is the one I'm in right now. Which at the time was a good idea. Now it wasn't.
Yeah.
I made a lot of mistakes from that point on. There was a lot of mistakes made. I learned 100%. Listen, if I had the same, funds, and if I was the same step today as I was in 2015 at the time when I was ready to move to a new place, I would have done things completely different. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean the manual work.
How we looking?
No, I do.
What?
It won't pop up until we finish.
Yeah,
So.
that's true.
No,
So-
I'm just
I mean,
we're
physical
limited.
labor is scarce now, right? There's nobody that wants to do it. I don't fucking want to do it, right?
A lot of people don't. But there's very good paying jobs.
But people, if I put you in my position for one day, I would love to see how you
I'd
react.
probably lose my shit, bro.
Bro, I'm juggling 50 different things, 50 different clients, 50 different headaches.
Yeah.
My shit is mental warfare every single day. It's not physical, but it drains the shit out of you.
In my current phase of my job now, it is also mostly mental.
Yeah,
Because the physical job is gone.
That's why I like my job. I'm a mix of both, right? Half the time I'm in the office. I'm kind of like you. I'm emailing 6 different clients at once, trying to schedule stuff out. Trying to get my guys here, or seeing, oh, my guy's going here, but he's got to go to another client in the area, whatever. And then the other day I'm like, I'm gonna go install the server, check out. I'm in the car. I'm driving.
Yeah.
I'm install because I don't want to sit at a desk all day, right?
See, I mean, that's why I work out. I go on a walk. I'll get my 10,000 steps a day because, dude, I sit all day.
Where the fuck do you walk? Because you don't live far away. I never see you walking, dude.
I walk outside, bro. I had the same
Well, no,
route.
shit, I won't hope that you walk outside, dude.
I walk the
10,000 times?
same route every single day.
Start walking this way, dude. We ain't got no sidewalks here, though, so you have to walk in the
Take
street.
me like 2 hours to get here, bro.
I thought you were neighbors.
10-minute drive.
You could turn into a fucking 1 hour walk.
I could walk to my nephew's house from here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He lives on the street, yeah.
45-minute walk.
But everybody's got a different perspective. Everybody's got if you actually want to make it, you gotta put the time and the effort into it.
It takes work.
100%.
It takes work, and people don't want to do the work.
No, I mean
it's not easy. It's not.
A lot
easy.
of people don't want to do the work.
You have think about it. You have a client, in my perspective, where he gets a $300,000 increase on his insurance renewal. Dude,
Yeah, dude,
that
that's-
and you like the guy,
have
like
to
you're boys
justify
with
that.
him, and think about telling your boy, "Yo, your insurance is going up 300,000." How does that make you feel or me? Right?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
good for anybody.
It's not good
And
for anybody.
people
for
are
sure.
scared to do that, but the
But
reality is
that's
Somebody's
what
got to do it.
here's why it's going up 300,000, right? But that's not easy for people. Scared, they go in their turtle shell and they're scared to tell people that, right?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. In the beginning of my journey, it was the same shit. I was scared to tell clients, like, dude, you're getting killed here.
Yeah.
You know. But let's not forget why you're being killed.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you had a bunch of
million in
claims done or whatever.
claims.
Yeah, exactly. So that makes sense at the end of the day. Yeah, 100%.
If you could justify it, yes. If it's not justified, then there's a reason to fight, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it's all
But you're
negotiating.
gonna fight together. You're not gonna
Yeah.
fight against each
Yeah.
other. You're
Yeah.
gonna fight together.
Yeah. But at the same time, you don't tell him. Somebody else is going to tell him. And he's going to be like, why didn't you tell me about this earlier?
No, that's
Right?
why
And it's
the
like-
number one thing, like, I hate is sleazy sales guys that lie to clients and don't tell them the
the
truth.
biggest
I tell
thing.
them fucking everything. If it's bad, if it's good, if it's great, I
Yeah.
tell them everything. That
And
way,
that's the way it should be.
that way, they know when they leave or go somewhere else,
They got all the info.
they're not getting the truth.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And to me, like, I do a little bit of everything. I'll do the underwriting of the. I'll have, like, you sent me your business. I'll put everything together. I'll take it to market. Then I present it and sell it to you.
Yep.
Right. There's in other companies, it's just agents that get the quote and sell it.
Yeah.
I see the market from every angle, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So I know the games that, dude, it's a chess game.
Yeah.
I'm playing against the biggest agencies in the nation.
Yep. Exactly.
And I know what they're going to do next. So I tell them that they're going to do that. And then we start battling.
Yep.
And it takes weeks to get the shit done, right? When
Yep.
I already know what's going to happen.
Yep.
right?
Exactly. Exactly.
But that gets experience, right? Doing it for fucking 13 years. You see the game unfolding in front of you and you could play the game.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, that's what it takes, man. It takes time. It takes skin in the game to figure out a lot of stuff.
Yep.
And then just overall how you look at it as well.
Yeah.
You want to push it or you got to push it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You want to make
Exactly.
it, you're going to make it if you actually try to make it, you know.
Yeah.
Don't think it's just going to come to you.
No.
Nothing comes.
Nothing comes.
Nothing comes to you by itself. Opportunity drops in once in a while for something.
Yeah, but you have to have
But you have to catch that opportunity
yeah,
and take
you
advantage
have to be
of it.
self-aware
Yeah.
that it's an opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That does happen, but it's, that's very rare. We're going to finish this up today.
All right, boys.
Hopefully we got all the video
Got the
on this one.
juice.
I'm
We
just,
got
hey,
hour
I'm just
and a
hoping
half.
I don't hear random static the first 5 minutes of the podcast, bro.
Oh, we'll be
So,
all right. I think
We'll
it was
be
a
back
good
again.
one.
We'll be back again soon. I'm
All
gonna,
right.
like I said, we're gonna try to have somebody on
Yeah,
every
I think
weekend.
next week we'll have Joe Rogan. We'll have
Donald Trump in 2 weeks.
Trump in 2. Then we'll
If we track down Biden, we'll get him on here.
no, we'll try to get Putin in 4 when the war ends, and then Zelensky right after. You know,
He's gonna be
Hey,
easy to get
maybe
in
we,
with
hey, we got 4 mics. You can put them both in the same
We got
room.
a table. We could negotiate.
100%. We're just gonna get a different table.
We could solve the war right here, dude. Couple Stellas.
I thought you said you don't drink. What if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
make it
You'll drink for
if,
that.
If Putin and Zelensky show up, we'll have a beer with them, man.
You gonna be on vacation then?
I'll make an exception for
Hey,
these
wouldn't
guys.
that be a vacation, dude?
Jesus, bro. We might have to fly to Ukraine.
Have a good night, everybody.
Imagine
take it
somebody
easy,
flies
guys.
us out to a country just to do a podcast.
Hey,
Crazy.
we might
That
have
means
to do
Lex
it.
Freeman, they just did with the same thing.
You
So
guys just went to Canada.
We should have
Wait till
podcasted
We should have had our cousins on here.
we'll get them next time.
next time. All right, boys.
Have a good night.
Have a good
See
night.
you later.
Peace
Thanks
out.
for coming by. Subscribe to our channel. Don't forget.
Hit
Hit the like button. That's right. Hit
And
the
watch it
like
all the way through.
button. We need those hours.
30 seconds at least, please.